what are the best ways to condition your muscles to increase glycogen capacity? I'm asking for an MMA standpoint, so to maintain my energy through the fight. Yeah, so here's the thing. Skill work in general is highly lactic. If you look at it from, an MMA standpoint, if they're working their grappling, if they're working their wrestling, even if they're sparring or MMA sparring, it's going to be highly lactic because of the fact that they are in close quarters, they're working through different transitions, they're doing it in a long fashion, and they're activating muscles in all different ranges. So for that, you want to make sure, again, that you can accommodate to the work ahead. And what I would do is, in the beginning, increase your aerobic capacity through proper means of general fitness. Now, with that being said, if you don't have a solid aerobic base, you're not going to be able to buffer out lactate. So with that, I want to make sure that first we have a baseline of aerobic capacity. And you can do that through tempo runs. You can do that through long distance runs. You can do that, what I talked about in the first question with the 5x5s or the 5 minutes on, maintaining that zone 1, zone 2 heart rate zone so that you can increase your aerobic capacity there. You also want to improve on your oxygen utilization or your oxygen intake. And that's going to help with, again, buffering out lactate. It's going to help you with increasing your energy. So what I would do is work on breath holds. We've done breath holds with a lot of my boxers, with a lot of my MMA guys and girls, and we've seen tremendous increases in their oxygen utilization and their ability to cope with air hunger. Now, I know if you guys follow me in the past, I talk a lot about Buteyko methods and oxygen advantage. I utilize that on a daily basis with all my fighters, where we will do maximal breath holds and we will go 5 rounds total for 2 sets right before their workout, and we'll walk in paces. Now, what I've been able to see is that increases in their ability to take in that oxygen, to blow out that CO2, and then accumulate that carbon dioxide and have the ability to saturate the lungs with CO2 to increase their ability to cope with that air hunger is important. So what I basically seen, I know Maureen Shea has gone from 20 paces within, I want to say she's done 3 days a week. She first started off with 20 to 25 paces. Fast forward 6 weeks later, and now she gets up into the 50 and 60 paces range. So again, what that basically tells me is that she has a better lung capacity. She's improving on her aerobic conditioning that way. And it's very simple, it's very easy to do. It's not taxing on the body, but it increases that ability, all right? So that's going to help with that buffering capacity there. And again, you also want to work in those zones of lactic capacity and lactic power. So if you're working on a 1-to-1 work-to-rest ratio or even a 2-to-1 work-to-rest ratio, making sure that you're keeping the intervals around 30 seconds to a minute long. And again, you're making sure that the rest period is the same with that optimal ratio, all right? Now, if you don't have the ability to work that in your skills training, then you have to fill gaps. So again, if my guys come in and they don't have a sparring session that day or a wrestling session that day that fills that void, well, then I'm going to go ahead and put them through some type of lactic capacity or power training to induce that response and fill that gap.